We're talking now about the Hays County Democratic Party chair. This is one of those kind of quiet positions, very important position, however. Donna Haschke is a Buda resident, and she's currently serving an unexpired term as chair of the Hays County Democratic Party. She's a lifelong Democrat, a teacher, association leader, and activist, precinct chair, and community volunteer. So, Donna, you have 3 minutes to talk about your positions.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Can you hear me out there? Okay. I've always been told when I give a speech, it's the old KISS rule. Keep it short, stupid. And with 3 minutes, we can keep it very short. I have one priority. I am the current county chair, and my priority is to get out the vote and turn Hays County blue. That's it. That's it. We are fielding more candidates in this election cycle than we have in a long, long time. We have great candidates. My job as county chair is to make sure we support all of those candidates, that we get out to vote, that we register people to vote. I'm also a deputy voter registrar, and it hurts my heart when I'm out there registering people to vote and I hear, well, my vote won't make any difference, so I don't even need to register, because we have to do that. We are not a blue county, we're not a red county, we're a non-voting county. We absolutely have to get people out there. I always tell the executive committee folks that I don't ask them to do anything that I myself do not do. I block walk in my precinct, I've block walked in many precincts that are not my own, knocking on those doors, asking people if they are registered to vote, and looking them in the eye and talking to them about their issues, what is important to them and their families. That's how you connect with people. That's how you make them feel important enough for them to get out and vote. Everyone here in this room, and it warms my heart that you're here, everyone here is a volunteer. People have been calling our office since the Trump thing started, saying, what can I do? How can I volunteer? Well, folks, we've got plenty of stuff for you to do. There are volunteer sheets in the back. You can sign up, look on your voter registration card, find out your precinct number, put it on there. We'll put you in touch with your precinct chair. We need your time, your talent, and your treasure. These candidates need all of that because they have put themselves on the line, and we owe it to them to help them out. We're not going to endorse until after the primary. Right now, we are for everybody, and we want them to win. We are not going to endorse for a while. Folks, grassroots is how Barack Obama got elected. Grassroots efforts are how Doug Jones won in Alabama last month. We can do this. We have enough people in Hays County, good grief, we're huge, to get out there and get this going. What are my qualifications? I guess experience and hard work. I was a teacher. I was always an association activist and leader, and then I was the vice president and the president of the Texas State Teachers Association. 65,000 members. I worked hard for those folks, and the whole time I was a Democrat helping to get Democrats elected, and we can do this again.
Thank you, Donna. Rodrigo Amaya has run 3 times for office, and he has learned so much from these experiences, he says. He has identified issues that he strongly feels would seriously enhance the Democratic Party's objectives, and he would appreciate the opportunity to serve this community as your next Democratic Party chair of Hays County. Rodrigo.
Thank you, sir. Well, first off, thank y'all for being here. It really means a lot to me to see a bunch of folks that are really have gotten involved with what's going on in our community. I am running for party chair. I've ran 3 times. I started out running as a candidate for the county judge in Caldwell County. I then ran for the position of constable in Hays County, and in 2016 I was a candidate for the sheriff's office. I bring that experience with me, and my main objective with this position is to better organize what happens within our party. We need better communication. We need to work on methods that are going to help our candidates financially so that their chances of winning can improve. We need to enhance and become more involved with getting out the vote, more block walking, get more folks. You know, this is an awesome event. The one thing that would make it better would be if it was bigger with more folks from different parts of the county. I've attended numerous events. I try to attend as many as I can. There's so much to learn. Every day that I've been involved with the politics here in Hays County, I've learned something new. I visit with folks. I ask them what their gripes, their concerns. You know, I'm glad we are doing things better. We are improving on things, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Like I said, the efforts of those that have come before me, I really appreciate them. I feel that I have the ability to go out and bring all those voters that have distanced themselves or have given up on voting because they feel that their votes don't count. A lot of those Hispanic voters have expressed to me how they don't feel like they matter, and that no matter, you know, how many candidates come and visit with them about that their vote does matter, when it's all said and done after the election, they forget about them voters and they don't come back until it's election time. They feel betrayed, disrespected, and with this position, those are things that I intend to fix. Thank you for your time, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Wonderful. So do we have any questions for these two candidates?
I'm sorry, I keep coming up here.
That's fine. That's what democracy is about.
Hey, Hays County is growing and critically important to the dynamics and to the look of what Democratic Party looks like across Texas. This position is truly important to all of us. If we look out on the crowd and we see the faces, I want us to understand what you intend to do to bring more people of color and a greater diversity in age to fill these seats, to revitalize and recruit the next generation of good Democrats, and a great variety in color when that happens.
Okay.
Well, one thing I have learned is that you cannot expect the people to come to you. You've got to go to them. We have voter registration drives at Texas State. We are very desperately trying to get those young folks registered and to the polls. That is critical. They are the future of our country. Another thing that we can do is we can go door to door. We've been concentrating a lot of our block walking in our Hays County party groups over on the east side of 35. There are many minorities over there. We have got to get to them. We've got to have Spanish speakers. I speak Spanish, but not as much as I'd like to. We've got to get people who look like them to go and knock on their door and introduce themselves and say, you are important. What are the issues that are critical to you and your family and your way of life? We've got to go to them, and that's what we've been doing, and we will do more of it.
There's a lot of things that can be done to improve and increase the numbers of folks that are volunteering. We've got some serious issues in our communities. The east side of 35 has been neglected for years. Me and county candidate for Judge Velasquez have been frequently visiting with folks, business owners around the east side of 35 for years. We visit with these folks, we talk with them, we ask them what's important to them, and we continue to remain engaged and continue to visit with them and let them know that we care about their needs, and we're hoping to improve and focus more on that side so that they too are included, because they too matter. They all the citizens of Hays County matter. Thank you.
Question?
Yes, I have a question. There is a rift, regardless of whether we pay any attention to it now or not. And I'm going to pin you down now. Indivisible is not totally with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is not totally with Indivisible. What are you personally going to do to heal that rift and bring everybody under the blue tent?
Thank you for that question. As I said, I've ran 3 times, and I know what you're talking about. One of the things that I'm going to focus on is making sure that every organization that has been organized to promote democratic values is received. We sit down together and we discuss strategies, and we include everybody, because that's one of the problems we've been having within this party, since I've been involved. For some reason, they just don't want, it seems like folks that want to get involved are not embraced, and they feel like they're pushed away. And to me, that's something that I believe needs to be improved very quickly, because we all have the same mission in mind. Thank you.
My door is always open. I want to talk to everybody about their concerns. There is room under the big blue tent for everyone. And if we don't talk to each other and we don't open up those lines of communication, how can we know what the deficits are of those folks who may feel disenfranchised for one reason or another? We have got to open up those lines of communication and ask the questions that we need the answers to. I don't know any other way to do it. One-on-one is great. That's the only way to do it, just to be accessible and make sure that everyone feels important and that their views are heard.
More questions?
Hey guys, Narissa Oden with the WimDems here in Wimberley. Thanks for running. I'm curious, the WimDems have done a great job with getting out the vote with phone banks. We've turned out our Democratic base here pretty routinely, but I haven't noticed the Hays County Democrats doing phone banks. The other thing, the WimDems, although we don't do mail-outs, we often not often, but occasionally mail our own members. And I've noticed that only one mail-out has happened since I've been precinct chair, is in 2012. So how do you plan to improve those things?
Rodrigo.
Thank you for the question, Narissa. As I've said before, I've ran 3 times. When I ran for the sheriff's office in 2016, that gave me the opportunity to travel throughout the county and visit with folks from Wimberley, Dripping Springs, Kyle Buda, San Marcos. And, I met a lot of wonderful folks that I visit with and discuss issues that affect their communities. That to me is very important, because they're the ones that live in those communities, and they're the ones that remain involved, and they share with me, their concerns. It is very concerning to me that there's no unity. There's a lot of fragmentation throughout our party, and we need to work on that to make things better. Thank you.
I'll be the first to acknowledge that I have a learning curve. I was the county secretary until December the 10th, when our chair resigned, and I was elected to fill this unexpired term till June. And I'm really, really chasing my tail. But it's all good. We're going to get it done. I'm really, really happy that we have a product committee, and some of my folks are back there, Bert and David. They have helped so much with getting the word out, getting the communication, the social media up, making sure that people know when we have a phone bank, when we will have phone banks. We haven't had them yet. In the last election cycle, I know we did because I worked on those phone banks. I know that we had communication. We had some newsletters that went out and information to be passed out in our block walking. We need to do that again. We will be concentrating on getting those materials out and getting phone banking done, because those are the ways, another way we reach people where they are. And so we will be doing that, Narissa. Thank you.
One more question. One more question.
Suzanne, Rolling Oaks. Our precincts are our building blocks of grassroots democracy. I believe that we have a very high % of our precincts that don't have precinct chairs in this county, or that don't have Democratic chairs. What are your strategies, or do you have specific strategies for getting those positions filled?
Actually, we don't have a high percentage. I think right now we only have 7 precincts that do not have chairs, and we are working on that. We always ask an outgoing precinct chair if he or she can recommend someone that they know, that they've gotten to know in their precinct, to come in and take over. So we are trying to concentrate on getting precinct chairs out there. We also are trying to get those precinct chairs trained, and our own Marvadine Eves over there from Dripping Springs is our point person on that, to make sure that they're trained, they know what's expected of them, they know how to reach out, they know how to get a cadre of volunteers to help them do their block walking and do their email and everything else that they need to do. So yeah, we need a few more precinct chairs, but we're doing pretty well, and we'll continue to work on that.
Rodrigo?
Well, my experience attending party meetings, CEC meetings, for the last 7 years, as far as the precinct chairs, you know, I'm noticing that there's a lot of folks that are taking up these positions, but they're not really actively doing anything. And that right there is something that needs to be addressed and fixed immediately, because we need to come together and we need to all sit around and discuss what our roles are to make sure that our party becomes more successful. Thank you.
All right. That concludes, are we
One
there?
more.
Test, test.
One more.
One more?
Just real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. As far as people not getting something in the mail from the Hays County Democratic Party, during elections, what we're trying to do is get new voters out to vote for our candidates. I know this because I was the treasurer. The precinct chairs did a wonderful job in 2016, and we can attribute the defeat of James Kohler to that. And that is something that would not have happened. Will you commit to doing targeted mailers towards new voters if you are elected?
Thank you for the question, Les. As I said, when I ran for county judge, Hays County Sheriff in 2016, one of the things that really troubled me was that during my election, those mailers were not sent out. They were sent out like 2 days before the election, so that really hurt us. And you know, that needs to improve. Yes, I will be committed to make sure that all operations or functions of the Democratic Party here in Hays County are improved, because as I said before, you know, I want to win, and I know our community here wants to win. So whatever it takes, I will look into and make sure that it's improved.
My answer, Les? Yes.
Test, test, nothing. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're having trouble. All right, well, that concludes the Hays County Democratic Chair panel. We appreciate it, Donna and Rodrigo. Terrific that you're both running.